Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for February 20th, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 51. I am Mayor Watt, and I run ohmtown.com, and along with the sentient AI, who's not here today, but we go over 10 articles every day, and on Saturday and Sunday, we actually do 3 different shows on Saturday and 3 different shows on Sunday, and that gets turned into the Non Sequitur News weekend editions, as well as 7 distinct podcasts. And they're all stored over on YouTube, and the VODs are stored on Twitch as well, although after 60 days, those go away. So go over to ohmtown.com and sign up, sign in. Then follow us on Twitch and YouTube and download the podcast and leave a 5-star review and go over to Discord. We're all over the place. Anyway, hey, that was all one breath. Today's 10 articles are ChunkX, a bit of SpaceX, Alien Life Smells Like Eggs, A Clear View of CEO Resigning, Substack monetizes videos, Uber with guns launches, Can't Make It to Court Tomorrow, Judge texts, that's a story. Twitch caps storage at 100 hours, First Pharaoh tomb in 100 years, Rivian with no hands, and Delta offers to flip passengers a few $1,000s. A little bit more about that one too, if you haven't been paying attention or you missed it. Now you're about to find out. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com, so go over and become a citizen. And be sure to follow us, like I said earlier, on Twitch and YouTube. That's how you find out when we go live, because it's usually 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. But mayoral duties sometimes keep me from doing the show. Anyway, we always do a replay so you can play catch it. All right, everybody. Hello. I've got all 10 articles all set up, but the sentient AI is not going to be here today. So I will be running through this pretty darn quick so that you can get back to living life. If you haven't heard, I created ohmtown so that I could manage my information overload. Now you can go and use it too. I made it public 3 years ago. This is actually the 4th year that it's been live for the public, general public. Go and check it out. Okay, our first article is over in Non Sequitur News. Man wakes up to find a large chunk of SpaceX rocket has crashed into his garden. A Polish man named Adam Barucki made an unusual discovery in his backyard after waking up one day. The purported remains of a second stage of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. So the article is over at Futurism in a section they have called Space Littering. The deck statement says, I am convinced this is genuine and is a fragment of a stage entry. The article was written by Victor Tengerman, again over at futurism.com. They got pictures of something, carbon fiber it looks like. And so, yeah, as the UK, it says tabloid, the Daily Mail reports Barucki reported the large object, but about 5 feet in size, 5 feet 3 in size, to the local police. We're investigating how the object ended up in this location, but the important thing is that no one was harmed. It seems that the object once belonged to a Falcon 9 rocket that made an uncontrolled re-entry over Poland earlier Wednesday morning, according to the Polish Space Agency. That's kind of where all the public money is going. We are securing the scene, explaining the circumstances of how this object ended up in the premises of on the premises of the company, it says. Poznan police officer Lakuz Paturski told the Polish press agency, quote, we know that parts from a Falcon rocket had flown over Poland, but whether this is part of it, we're not able to confirm at this moment. So anyway, similar tanks have survived Falcon 9 Stage 2 re-entries in the past, showing similar damage or delamination. He added, and Poznan is right in the re-entry path, so it all hangs together. So yeah, that delamination is carbon fiber unwrapping because it turns, kind of shreds. Sometimes it can fracture, but it always shreds on the edges. Anyway, interesting. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Sulfur may be the new tool for finding alien life. Astronomers have identified sulfur as a potentially crucial indicator in narrowing the search for life on other planets, while sulfur, it's a hard word to say when you're saying it fast, while sulfur itself is not necessarily an indication of habitability, significant concentrations of sulfur dioxide on a planet can suggest that the planet is likely uninhabitable, allowing researchers to eliminate it from further consideration. So maybe not so much sulfur leads to life, but sulfur leads to the exculpation of the possibility of life. So the article is over at phys.org by Paul M. Sutter from Universe Today. And it says the discovery of extraterrestrial life remains one of the most sought-after objectives in modern astronomy. However, this is a formidable challenge. The James Webb Space Telescope is unlikely to detect biosignatures, atmospheric gases produced by living organisms on nearby planets. Similarly, the upcoming Habitable Worlds Observatory will only be able to assess a limited number of potentially habitable exoplanets, planets outside our solar system. One of the primary obstacles astronomers face is the typically faint signature of biosignature spectra. To address this, they focus on the potential for planets to host life, particularly through the presence of water vapor in their atmospheres. A planet with substantial water vapor may be more likely to support life. The concept is encapsulated in the habitable zone, a region around a star where a planet receives just the right amount of radiation, not too little to freeze, not too much to boil. In our solar system, Venus lies near the inner edge of the habitable zone, with surface temperatures exceeding 800 degrees Fahrenheit beneath a dense atmosphere, while Mars resides primarily outside the zone, its water largely trapped in polar ice caps and subsurface reservoirs. So they're going to be searching in that. So recently, in a study published in the journal Science Advances, a team of astronomers have identified another potentially useful indicator gas for differentiating uninhabitable from possibly habitable worlds: sulfur dioxide. Interesting. So yeah, they look at the spectra of light that are emanating from suns, and through the sun, through the light that is essentially filtering through the atmosphere, or reflection of a planet, actually shows a band that says this is water, or in this case, sulfur dioxide. And so they can eliminate anything that has sulfur dioxide. So it's an interesting article. Okay, let's keep on going. These are not in any particular order, by the way. I will post them in the show notes over on YouTube. These won't get posted to Twitch because they delete stuff after 60 days. Even if you're a subscriber, even if you're an affiliate, even if you're a partner, they nix things. And they've capped uploads to 100 days anyway. So 100 hours, sorry. And each one of our shows is an hour long. So you have over 1,800 hours that you can go and review over on, well over 1,800 hours over on YouTube. So the next article is over on Late Night Geeks. CEO of Clearview AI, a controversial facial recognition startup, has resigned. The CEO of controversial face recognition startup Clearview has resigned, according to TechCrunch. Article is by Charles Roulette. I'm not sure how they pronounce their last name. The deck statement says CEO of Clearview AI, a controversial facial recognition startup, has resigned. That's actually the title. So Clearview AI now has two co-CEOs, early investor Hal Lambert and co-founder Richard Schwartz, who wants to capitalize on new opportunities under the new administration. According to a statement Clearview AI sent to TechCrunch, the CEO, Hoan Ton That, said it is time for the next chapter in my life and that he would remain on as a board member of Clearview AI. He declined to make a comment when asked for more details on what specifically sparked his resignation. Clearview AI sells access to facial recognition database to law enforcement and federal agencies who use it to identify suspects or find missing people. Because the startup obtained the photos without people's consent, it had to fend off multiple privacy lawsuits and fines. And as of September 2024, Clearview AI has racked up over $100 million in GDPR fines from European data protection agencies in Netherlands, France, and elsewhere. Clearview AI has historically remained uncooperative, refusing to pay these fines, and Clearview didn't respond to a request by TechCrunch asking if anyone has been paid. So, deny. All right, let's go. The next article is over in Late Night Geeks. Substack now lets creators monetize videos and post them directly from its app. As TikTok's future in the US remains unclear, it'll probably survive, depending on how much money they throw around. Substack tries to lure creators to its platform by doubling down on video. The company announced on Wednesday that it's now allowing creators to monetize their videos on the platform and letting them publish videos directly from the Substack app. This article, too, is from TechCrunch.com, and Aisha Malik put the article together. We don't ever go through the entire article verbatim on the show. That's up to you. You can go over and check it all out. But previously, creators have been able to share videos in Notes, which is Substack's Twitter-like feed, but the Notes feature doesn't support paywalls. Plus, subscribers aren't notified when a creator creates a note, and by publishing video posts, creators can now directly reach their audience and monetize their work. Substack says that the video creators who are worried about their future on TikTok can join its platform to build a subscription-based video business, and that creators on Substack can reach their audience directly without relying on algorithms. Well, you got to grow it. So that's the hard one. Being discovered is really hard, as I can attest here on Twitch. For the most part, I'm slowly growing over on YouTube as well. So tell a friend. All right, let's keep on going. The next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. Rideshare app known as Uber with Guns launches in LA and New York. We've talked about this before, but this is an article that comes out of jalopnik.com. They've added another to the list of articles that are coming out about this. Lawrence Hodge put the article together for jalopnik.com. And basically how it works is once you download the app, you're greeted with images and a video of each of the protectors that are available in an area, and every single one looks like an agent. So they're typically from military of some kind. And it says, now it comes time to pay after you've chosen everything that you are interested in. If you assume none of this would be cheap, you're right. They played around with the app, and for just 2 protectors with 2 cars for 8 hours, it came out to $3,200. But hey, what's the price for protection, right? I mean, if you want to survive something and you are under an imminent threat, then you pay for 8 hours is $3,200. So that's not including the annual membership fee of a whole whopping $129, which gets you little perks like a personalized threat assessment, access to the protector and personal driver. Even if you go low key and choose one protector for yourself and a single car for the app's minimum of 5 hours, it'll be $1,000. So 5 hours for $1,000 is kind of inexpensive. I mean, it's $200 roughly, or $200 plus the $129, whatever else might be floating around there. So if that amount proves to be too much for you, protector details how you can split the cost of the protection with other people to save a bit of money. So very much so the Uber of personal protection. It's interesting. So if you want to learn more about it, go and check it all out. But this stems from the fact that there was a CEO that was deleted a little while ago. Anyway, let's keep going. The next article is over in Law Nerd. Judge texted bailiff and clerk that he can't be in court the next day because, quote, they just deleted somebody, jurors are told. California judge admitted that he had shot his wife in a text to court personnel in a police car and while sitting alone. Deborah Caston's Weiss over at abajournal.com put the article together, and it says here, according to Law 360, the AP and KABC coverage, Ferguson's defense lawyer maintains that the shooting was an accident, according to the AP. Quote, I just lost it. Wait. The text said, I just lost it. I just shot my wife. I won't be in tomorrow. I will be in custody. I'm so sorry. It was an accident, they said. Oh, wow. They really did. Wow. And then a spontaneous utterance. Jurors were also shown a video of Ferguson muttering to himself in a police interrogation room. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Yeah, alcohol was involved, etc. Wow, just gonna leave that alone. Okay, the next article is over in Late Night Geeks. Twitch caps streamers' storage at 100 hours of highlights and uploads. Twitch on Wednesday announced it will begin limiting streamers to 100 hours of highlights and uploads. It won't mess with your VODs as they are recorded and stored, but straight uploads and highlights will be capped at 100 hours. The company said it's introducing the change because highlights haven't been effective in driving discovery or engagement and because storage is costly. So they're finding that it's just a waste of space. The storage cap goes on into effect soon, April 19th. And it says Twitch's announcement comes a week after Facebook said that its live videos would now be stored for only 30 days, after which they'll be deleted. Twitch does similar. All right, let's keep on going. This is going to be a really short episode. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Explorers discover first Pharaoh tomb in over 100 years. A British-Egyptian team of researchers has discovered that it's what it says is the first Pharaoh's tomb in over a century. As the BBC reports, the team discovered the tomb of King Thutmose II in the western valleys of the Theban, I think it is. It's not Theban. I think it's Theban necropolis near Luxor, Egypt. It is an extraordinary moment for Egyptology and the broader understanding of our shared human story, said Egypt's Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Sharif, I think it's Fathi, in a statement. It must have been an extremely moving moment for everybody involved. The emotion of getting into these things is just one of the extraordinary bewilderment because when you come across something you're not expecting to find, it's emotionally extremely turbulent, really. So the article is written by Victor Tangerman over at futurism.com, again, in a section they call Whoa. So there's always debris around and stuff. It's kind of fascinating. So yeah, it's a BBC report. The discovery is considerable, or has considerable implications for our understanding of the 18th dynasty of Egypt, which spanned the periods of 1549 to 1292 BC. The last pharaoh's tomb to be discovered belonged to one of Thutmose II's ancestors, Tutankhamun, who also lived during the 18th century. No. Okay, well, anyway, interestingly, the pharaoh's mummified remains were discovered 2 centuries ago, but the location of his tomb has remained unknown until now. Litherland and his team had to descend a large staircase and a very large descending corridor. Upon entering the tomb, they discovered a blue painted ceiling with yellow stars on it, as he is told to the BBC, which are only found in king's tombs. It was only after crawling through a 32-foot-long passageway that a small 15-inch gap at the top that they got into the burial chamber, and to their surprise, it turned out to be completely empty, not because it was robbed, but because it had been deliberately emptied, they say. Deliberately emptied, but in what way? I mean, we make all of these assumptions about it being deliberate, but somebody emptied out something that was there. If something was there, what was it? Was it really a tomb, or was it, repurposed as a tomb and found that way for some other reason? We always do this kind of stuff. So excitingly, the team claims to have a rough idea of where the second location may be. The tomb is situated in a poorly chosen place beneath 2 waterfalls and at the bottom of a slope down where water would have and did pour in the much wetter weather of the 18th dynasty. The researchers discovered fragments of jars that had Thutmose II's name inscribed on them, which had probably broken when the tomb was being moved. So, or this thing used to be more open and something filled it all in. All right, well, the next article is over in Late Night Geeks. Rivian will launch hands-off highway driver assist in a few weeks, according to the article over at TechCrunch. Rivian said Thursday that it plans to launch a hands-off version of its driver assistance system for highway driving in a few weeks and an eyes-off version in 2026. The hands-off version will let Rivian compete with companies like Ford and General Motors, which have both launched similar systems in the past few years. Sean O'Kane, or I think it's O'Kane, put the article together. It's over at TechCrunch.com. And it says Rivian's autonomy ambitions were front and center when the company broke stealth in 2018. At that time, CEO RJ Scaringe, I guess, was talking about dreamy scenarios where Rivian owners would start a hike and have their vehicles drive autonomously to meet them at the finish. But autonomy took a back seat in the year since, at least publicly, as Rivian focused on completing its IPO and launching and scaling 3 different vehicles. Rivian now has posted back-to-back years of building and delivering around 50,000 vehicles and has some breathing room thanks to a major deal with Volkswagen finalized late last year to focus on rolling out features like a hands-off system. All right. So our last article is over in the Mobile channel. Delta is offering $30,000 to passengers on the plane that crashed and flipped upside down. You might have seen this all over social media. But passengers on a Delta Airlines DAL flight 4819 flipped over onto its roof while landing at Toronto's Pearson International Airport, and they'll receive $30,000 no strings payment. Kevin Williams put this article together. It's over at Quartz or QZ.com. The deck statement says the flight flipped on a snowy, windy runway upon landing in Toronto. Apparently it was trying to do something that was referred to as a crab maneuver or whatever. So in strong winds, it can slide sideways and then at the last moment pivot so that it can land on its wheels straight down the runway. All of a sudden, everything just kind of went sideways. And then the next thing I know, it's kind of a blink and I'm upside down, still strapped in, said Peter Carlson, a passenger traveling to Toronto for a paramedics conference, telling that to the CBC News. The landing was very forceful. I'm not sure the rest of this. The article goes into greater detail about things, but yeah, the plane just kind of flipped over, and then the ground crews showed up to keep the thing from catching on fire, and then everybody got out. Some people were banged up, but I think everybody was okay. Nothing serious. But that's it, folks. So we are going to fly into the wind to do a crab maneuver, and at the last minute, that'll snap us back to the front page of ohmtown.com. And because this is a time machine episode, I was able to plan all of this out perfectly and end it before even 30 minutes, which is the shortest I think I've ever done any show. But at any rate, that's it. I'm out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow, which is actually tonight, February 21st. 2025 for episode 52 of season 4 Non Sequitur News. Anyway, I've been uploading a whole lot of shorts. I hope you dig those. Those are actually over the course of the last 4 or 5 episodes that we find interesting, and they're over on the YouTube channel, so go over and check it all out. But I'll see you tomorrow, yesterday, tonight, timey-wimey stuff. Bye-bye.